can see it.
Hello, creatures and cryptids. It is your favorite pink plague nurse, Nymphy. Today we are going to be covering an obscure ARG simply known as Don't Look at the Moon. Before we start, huge thank you to RT60. Without his research, this video would not be possible. Go check him out. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help me out a bunch and I'd really appreciate it. Don't Look at the Moon started when an entry was put in the bottom of the Minecraft iceberg. The Minecraft iceberg, created by Reddit user Probot748. When a Google Doc explaining the full iceberg came out, the entry for Don't Look at the Moon said,
It's not exactly about not looking at the moon. There's a rumor that there's code in Minecraft that checks whether or not you're looking at the moon, and experiments were made to test it out, some having disastrous effects. Shadow entities being set on fire, and world corruption, showing signs of being an outlandish creepypasta. Still, I decided to test them out for myself.
The entry had a link attached to it, which led to a YouTube playlist created by someone known only as Legendfinder. When initially scrolling through his old content, it seems like any other old YouTube channel, featuring speedruns, Unisonus content, and Grug gets a divorce.
Just kidnapped our neighbor's child.
Fuck you. We don't have neighbors. They're dead.
Right. Relatively normal content, that is, until we get to a video posted on November 29th of 2020. This video contains footage of who we can assume is Legendfinder walking around at night. The most notable landscapes in this video are an empty playground and a dark forest. If this wasn't confusing enough already, the video description simply says, plans. Yeah, thanks, that clears everything up, now I get it. In all seriousness, however, the reason this video doesn't make sense is because you aren't meant to watch it yet. Let me explain. Now, several of the videos on Legendfinder's channel contain dates. The ones that don't, we can take to mean were made on the dates that they were posted. When the videos are organized and watched in chronological order, the beginnings of a narrative can be formed. It all starts with the video titled, Clock Goes Haywire While Looking at the Moon. This video is rather unremarkable, the description explaining that he's testing the legend that the clock should go haywire when you look at the moon, then obstruct your view with a wall. Nothing happens in this video. However, in the next video titled, Go Into the End at Exactly Midnight, we can see that when the end loads in, it is completely dark. The video after that shows Legendfinder testing the next theory on his list, which is to look at the moon while standing in the exit of a cave. Nothing happens in this one, which Legend remarks is unsurprising, considering many players would have probably accidentally triggered it were it to exist. Now, this next video is where it truly gets interesting. Simply titled, Look at the Moon for the Entire Night, it features almost 10 minutes of Legend doing exactly that. Now, I watched this video completely through on normal speed, just in case anything strange happened while he was watching the moon, but nothing did. That is, until the very end. When the moon finally sets, the computer Legend was using completely crashes. Legend is left sitting in the dark with nothing to say except,
What the fuck?
What the fuck indeed. The video after this one shows a completely white Minecraft world. Legend explains in the description that when he reopened his computer, the world was deleted, but in anticipation of something like this happening, he made a backup. When opening the backup, he saw, well, this. Nothing seems to be off besides the white until around 27 seconds in, when a white humanoid figure darts quickly in and out of view. And I don't mean Steve humanoid either. This thing is shaped like a real-life person. After this video comes a short one called Unfinished. In it, you can see a mostly dark screen, but looking closer, you can make out that Legend's avatar is in a room filled with item frames, clocks placed in each one of them. Now, finally, we get to the video shown earlier. Legend is walking around outside and seems to be looking for something. He zooms in on a dome on the playground, perhaps because it resembles a moon. We look up and we see that the moon is obstructed by clouds, yet it is still there. The description reads, plans, and I'm starting to get an idea of what exactly his plans are. The next video shows Legend walking in a forest yet again, although it is now getting light out. These two videos were posted only a day apart, so we can assume it is light because he's been walking all night. I'm not sure why the last few seconds pause on a frame, however. I looked hard at it and I couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. If you do, please comment below because I'm sure this must be intentional. Next up is another Minecraft video. In this one, Legend's avatar is seen trekking through a dark oak forest before emerging into some plains. He looks up, and we see that although there are stars, no moon is to be found. He then enters the mouth of a cave and goes in. Nothing happens till the very end of the video, where a clock has been picked up into his inventory. The description says, "It will be dark." Now, to me, this sounds almost prophetic, like he's predicting that something like this will happen in the real world, but I digress. The next 3 videos are all titled "I Can See It," and are only a few seconds long. They all feature what seems to be the moon, the real moon. We then get to a video titled "I Can't See It." The moon is nowhere to be seen, but to be honest, that might be because he's standing next to a really bright streetlight. Come on, babe, go back in the woods and then look, when the city lights aren't dimming everything. The description just says, "Please," in what I assume to be a sad plea for the moon. The next one is titled the same, but this time the screen is completely black. There is indeed no moon. Then he sees it again, but in this video the moon is clearly not there. Where? It still remains unseen. Then we have a video with no title and no description. It simply shows Legend's feet walking through already trampled snow. I believe this might be because he was pacing through the snow, trying to find the moon. It comes back in the next video, and the description ominously reads, "It's here." The next is the same, except the description now reads, "Look at it." I know this is getting tedious, but bear with me here. The following video is titled "I Can't See It," but this time you can vaguely make out that he's in a dark room. No shit, you can't see it, you're inside. Okay, while editing, I realized that I forgot one video. It's just a video of Legend, like, looking at the door handle or something. I don't know. It's not integral to any of the theories that I have. I just thought I should mention it since I wanted to cover all the content that I could find. I don't know how I missed that. It's a whole ass video. It's just sitting right there. The video after that has an unremarkable title. "I Can See It," just like all the others. But this time, it's not an image of the moon. It's a 4-minute video of who we can assume is Legendfinder, curled up in the corner, rocking back and forth. He doesn't do anything else for a while, but around 3 minutes and 26 seconds in, he starts hitting his head in an erratic manner. Something is clearly wrong. Legend is not okay. I have a bit of a theory about this part, but let's get through all the videos before we get to that. The next videos in chronological order are the 3 most recently posted, all titled, "Look at the Moon for the Entire Night." They are not reposts. All of them have clear differences, such as the items in the inventory. The description for the first 2 read, "Perhaps it was a mistake," although on the last one it says, "Was it a mistake?" And finally, we get to the last video. This one doesn't have a title, and it's only a few seconds long. It shows a view of a playground through a chain-link fence. It doesn't appear to be the same playground as before, however. I'm not quite sure what the link between the moon and playgrounds is, but 2 different playgrounds seem too deliberate to be a mistake. Although this is the last YouTube video, I do have 2 more pieces of media for us to view real quick. They were both taken from Legendfinder's Twitter, and although there are likely more, I don't have a Twitter account for the sake of my sanity, so my access is limited. The first is a photo of a seemingly black screen, save for a speck of light in the corner. This obviously piqued my interest, so I played around a little with the brightness and values. It was really tricky because if I did too much, the photo just looked fried. The best I could get was this. I know it's not much, but it's more than what we had before. I think this could be either one of 2 things. Either it's a neighborhood at night, and the specks of light are house lights or street lamps, or perhaps it's that forest he was walking around in, and the light could be a bit of the sky peeking through the trees. Or I could be totally wrong, and it's something else entirely, or it might not even mean anything in the first place. The second shows a sign stating, "Playground area closes at dusk," which might be the missing link I was searching for. Alrighty, here comes the fun part. Now, please remember, this is all pure speculation and my take on the content we were given. By no means am I claiming this to be the canon narrative. You should do your own research and tell me what you find. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. My theory is not totally formed, and there are a few pieces I haven't connected yet, but here goes. I believe that whatever this thing Legend got himself into managed to have the power to alter the state of not only the Minecraft world, but also the world we live in. I also believe that somehow the 2 are linked. See, remember when I said that video where Legend mentioned, "It will be dark" sounded like a prophecy? Well, it was fulfilled, was it not? Maybe the reason Legend spent all that time looking at the moon was because he was waiting for it to go, just like in the Minecraft world. It would disappear and then come back, possibly messing even more with Legend's assumingly fragile mental state. He doesn't want the moon to go, because if the moon goes, this is all real. It's not some stupid legend, it's not some Easter egg code. Something truly sinister is happening, and Legend has accidentally found himself right smack dab in the middle of it. He slowly falls into insanity, posting videos where the moon is clearly not present, claiming it's there. If he sees the moon, it's all okay. If he sees the moon, nothing he experienced is real. Eventually, he doesn't even leave his room. He just rocks back and forth, his head in his knees, creating a dark area. A dark area like the night sky. A dark area where he can clearly visualize the moon, and where he's safe. His obsession with playgrounds, it's explained by the signs stating that they close at dusk. Dusk is when the moon rises. Dusk is when he leaves the house to search for the moon yet again. Dusk. Dusk is the beginning of it all, so the playground acts as a sort of clock for him. When the playground's empty, it's his alarm to start searching. And notice the euphemism of a clock. Clocks are another element to this story. I'm not quite sure what they do or what they mean, and there's not really any evidence to back me up here, but perhaps the clocks can predict when the moon comes and goes. This is the least solid of my ideas, but it's better than leaving these loose ends hanging. All in all, I think this ARG is a story of not only someone falling into insanity, but a greater unseen threat, possibly even supernatural in origin. I had a lot of fun with this one, and one more time I'd like to thank RT60 as well as Legendfinder himself. Go show these two some love for me, they deserve it. And Legendfinder, if you see this, well, I'd like to thank you for causing me to never look at the moon in the same way. Remember to drink water, because I sure as hell won't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I bite at the hand that feeds me, slap at the face that eats me, some kind of animal cannibal.